Whoa, it's begun! Hello everybody, welcome back to another one of our weekly My Hero Academia videos, and today we're talking all about Season 4, Episode 7, Go! But before we get into things proper, I do want to give a big thank you to those of you who shared last week's video over on Twitter, at Ops17Break, at HarrisonKVGC, at Janame, at DarkfirePlayer4, at 07015, at AlexDrift11, and at Nacho Gashardo. Thanks so much for sharing last week's video over on Twitter, everybody, and if you too would like to have your name shouted out in next week's My Hero Academia video, then be sure to share this video around on the internet, and then tag me at JoJo Talks Too Much over on Twitter, and I will be sure to shout your name out in next week's video. Okay, so if you can't tell by my tone of voice at the beginning of this week's video, I'm having a pretty damn good time with this season of My Hero, this arc so far. It's been absolutely phenomenal. Loved every damn second of it. It's been great. What I really love about this arc so far is that it's continuing to build on a lot of the thematic undertones and a lot of the dramatic character stuff that it's been building over the course of the last 4 seasons. A lot of like I said, the themes, a lot of the tone is stronger. It just keeps building upon itself in a really interesting way. And that really shines in this week's episode with Deku, because you don't really think about Izuku and what he's dealing with on the inside, just because Deku's normally such a cheery character. He definitely faces a lot of darkness, but he faces it with the same smile that All Might taught him to face the darkness with. So to see him sort of be downtrodden and almost sort of being beaten by the evils of this world, by the villains of this world, and the chaos that encircles it, it's kind of, I don't know, it was really heartbreaking to see Deku basically just beating himself up, and he was really low, and the fact that he was so, I don't want to say distracted, because he is focused, but it's just that his mind is scattershot. He's focused on the mission. He wants to save Eri, that's for damn sure. But the problem is that he can't tell anybody what's on his mind, because he's basically been sworn to secrecy on the whole Eri thing, but because of that, he now can't talk to All Might about what Night Eye said, and he's just in this sort of position where he can't talk about anything. He can't tell anybody how he's feeling, because it's literally against code at this point. He's not allowed to say anything, and you can see that eating at Deku, and I hate it. I hate seeing him like that. Obviously, I don't hate it in terms of, when I say I hate it, I don't mean, this writing's bad. I mean, I hate seeing this cheery character so low, and I think I thought the way it was handled was brilliant. And the fact that it was Ida, my boy, my son, Ida, stepping up and saying, hey, man, if you ever need to talk, you just let me know. We're friends, right? You said the same thing to me when I was going through my stuff. And that almost brought a tear to my eye. The fact that Ida straight up references the whole Stain arc and saying, hey, man, we're friends. You can talk to me, but you know that he can't. And it's, even Todoroki's just I don't know what's going on with you, but you're different, and I can tell, and it's not a good kind of different. And do you want some of my soba, or do you want some of do you want some what were the other things? They were trying to give him all these different foods, want some wasabi with that? Deku's he just trying really hard to hold it together, because he even says my emotions are a whirlwind, and some of them just sort of fell out. And it's when Ida says we're friends, right? And Deku knows immediately what he's referencing before he even explains what it was. And he breaks down and cries for a second, and that got me. I was the fact that just seeing Todoroki and Ida wanting to be there for Deku, but Deku can't respond in any meaningful way. He has to keep that stuff inside right now. It's some of the darker elements of being a hero, and it's just sad to see Deku in that position, but he is strong enough, he's a good enough kid, he's gonna come through the other side. But it's just, it's brutal. And in that same vein, right, the fact that Deku really does feel as though he has the weight of the world on his shoulders. And you, as the audience, know he kind of does, in a way. The fact that he knows that All Might die a gruesome death, that they may not save Eri, although I think it's pretty clear they're going to save Eri, but to him, they don't know. They don't know that it's a TV show, They don't know it's an anime. They just think it's their lives. So for all they know, they could lose Eri. They could lose All Might. They don't know what's going to happen. And so that uncertainty weighing Deku down, it really would feel like the whole world's on his shoulders and he can't do anything but sort of grit his teeth and bear it and again face the world with a smile, and that's what Deku tries to do here. But it's not just Deku who feels that way, it's also Mirio, who is another character who I don't like seeing like that. And seeing him, like, Sun Eater and, why do I always forget the girl's name? The other two from the big three, they see Mirio just sort of, like, in the courtyard on his own, just looking at his phone, hopelessly, like, praying that he'll get the text message that they found the hideout and that they're gonna attack and save Eri, and he's just staring at his phone blankly, not even blankly, with this, like, genuinely heart-wrenching emotion of just like, this is my fault. We could have saved Eri, but I did this. And I'm like, it's not your fault. You made the correct decision because now you guys have prep time. You didn't have prep time before. You could have gotten yourselves killed. I saw so many people in the comments saying like, well, he could have done X, Y, Z. Well, he didn't. As far as I'm concerned, he made the correct decision because in that moment, yeah, they could have tried. They could have. And then they may have died. They could have gotten Deku killed. They could have gotten Mirio killed. They could have gotten Eri killed. You don't know that. Like, you don't know what Overhaul could have done. So I'd rather just not play that game. I'd rather have prep time. I think Mirio made the correct decision. Then again, what do I know? Well, I'll tell you what I do know, actually. I know that I don't like seeing a character as cheery as Mirio be this depressed. And again, it speaks really well to Horikoshi's writing that I totally bought it, and I hated that I bought it, and the fact that it just broke my heart. It's brilliant. And we haven't really even known Mirio for all that long a time when you think about it. It's only been a handful of episodes, and we got an introduction to him in season 3, but this is like the season where we're really getting to know Mirio, unless you're a manga reader, in which case you already know a lot about him. But for us anime onlys, this is like our first real experience with Mirio. So the fact that just seeing him frown slightly is enough to break my heart says a lot. However, for as much as I love Horikoshi's writing of certain characters, other characters, I can't tell if he's trying to make them badass or if they're trying to come off as really annoying, because the Locke character can kindly go fuck off. That dude needs to shut up and go away. Like, holy shit. The Locke guy, he has a cool looking quirk, like the fact that he like whips a piece of board in the air and then freezes it, and then like hops on the board and then jumps up and over to jump onto another building. That was actually pretty dope. But as a character, this guy sucks. And I saw so many comments, people being like, imagine not liking Locke guy, or whatever the fuck this dude's name is. And like, listen, we're not all manga readers, or we're not all Sir Night Eye with foresight, okay? Like, not all of us know what this character is going to be. I can't speak to what this character is going to be. I can only speak to what is presented to me here, in this moment. And in this moment, from what I've seen from the last couple episodes, what I've seen in this episode, this character sucks. He's just a downer. He's such an angry for no good reason. Like, I understand that you can be angry about the situation, but to take it out not only on the heroes in training, your fellow pro heroes, but also the cops who are just trying to help, go away. Just go away. You are just in the goddamn way. Just go away. And I know, there's probably manga fans being like, well, actually, I don't care. I don't care right now. Later, I will care. Later, I will eat humble pie, I'm sure. But in this moment, I don't feel like eating humble pie. I just feel like pointing out that this character is driving me absolutely insane. And when that is proven wrong, we will talk about it then. But for right now, no, he's driving me insane. But you know what didn't drive me insane was the late night text from the pro heroes saying like, hey, we found her. And I want to give both props to Horikoshi and Bones in this case, because I don't know if, like, who did what on this case. It must be Horikoshi, because, you know, manga. But the fact that when we see them get the text, Deku runs into, like, the main hall, right? Like, the dining hall, and sees the other characters there. And this is, like, a simple thing, but the fact that the characters not only have a different outfit for sleeping, but the fact that certain characters' their hair was messed up. Like the fact that like Aurorika's hair had like a full out cowlick, like it was like flipped up, because they were friggin' sleeping. It's small touches like that make me love the show. Like the fact that the characters aren't always wearing the same outfit. And I know that's such a like bizarre gripe, but like it is an issue with not just anime, most things. Like the fact that the characters don't always change outfits, like that can be annoying. So seeing it here, like the fact that it's not, I shouldn't say annoying, it's not annoying, it's just, it's nice when you see characters in different outfits for different occasions, right? So when they're sleeping, like, yeah, they're not gonna wear they're not gonna wear their hero costumes to bed, you know, unless you're All Might. Maybe All Might wears like an All Might onesie, I don't know. Actually, I would buy that if it existed, like an All Might pajama onesie. This is a weird tangent that I went on. What I'm trying to say is I appreciate that the characters actually genuinely looked like they had just gotten out of bed by that text, that they were all kind of messed up and still tired. Like when you see the big three, they're still exhausted because they're trying to sleep and they're like, let's do our best. And I can't remember her name, but the Spiral Girl is friggin' great. I love her. The fact that she's like, let's do it. She's like half asleep, but she's like, no, we got this. It's fine. That'd be me. I'm like, no, yeah, we got this. Anybody got coffee? And then we finally get to see the siege against Overhaul and his minions. Now, mind you, this wasn't exactly the sneak attack that they were hoping for, because the police kind of go through like, okay, so this is how we're gonna handle this. Like the police sergeant's like, okay, we're gonna do this, and this. Really need you guys by the books on this one. We operate at exactly 8:30. We're gonna read them the riot act, and then after that, we're gonna just go in there. We're gonna whoop people's asses, get shit done. Like that's the plan. And of course, Lock Guy's like, they're treating us like we're getting in the way. Shut up! Every word out of that character's mouth has been nothing but complaints, and he drives me insane. Even Fat Gum, who seems like the most like genuinely like upbeat, friends with everybody type of guy, is like, why are you even here, man? Like, all you do is complain. How about like they're trying to do their job, man? Like Jesus. Screw that guy. Honestly, for a second, when the plan goes awry, right? It's not quite the sneak attack that I think they were hoping for. And that big muscly dude like hits, like when he breaks the walls down. Wow, Chris Jericho reference. But like when he breaks the door to the headquarters down, I thought he had hit the door into the Lock Guy, and I cheered and then realized that didn't happen. So I was a little disappointed. But yeah, we actually get to see the initial attack on both fronts, right? So we see that big muscly dude break the door down, break the walls down, and he's about to attack the others when I can't remember her name, the dragon lady, basically turns into an actual dragon. Was not expecting that. That was a surprise, and it was also really badass. So that was friggin' cool. And she's her and her squad. So that's the other girl from the Big Three, and Rarika and Tsuyu. They're gonna attack this dude, like the group of them. And I feel like they'll probably be able to get things done. He does look like a beefy dude, but I think between the four of them, they've probably got things under control. They can handle that. And so the rest of them rush in. We get to see some of the other like pro heroes, but not like quite like the A-listers, like some of the other guys who just sort of work in that area. We get to see them tackle like some of the minions, and we get that awesome shot, like that great cool shot of Mirio and Deku together. That was dope. And again, it's just too bad for the heroes, because I think they were expecting to get a little bit more of the drop on these guys, but they knew that they were coming. I mean, it's kind of obvious, because they say at one point like, how do they know we were here? Oh, I don't know. There's like an army of police and heroes outside the door. I guess maybe they just looked out the window. But yeah, like it kind of obvious that they were coming. But at the same time, I think they were expecting to get the drop on them a little bit easier. So the fact that it's going to be like a straight up fight, that's pretty cool. Like we're actually going to see like the heroes go to war with Overhaul and his men. And I'm looking forward to this for sure. The preview does show us that Sun Eater will be going in next week. I'm excited because I really want to see more from Sun Eater. I can't quite remember I'm a something or other. I can't remember his actual name, like his real name, not his superhero alias. But Sun Eater is just a cooler name anyway. So I'm excited to see what Sun Eater does next week. He was given swordfish to eat, so I'm assuming he's gonna get like a sword arm. Kind of looking forward to that. That's gonna be kind of neat. Again, his quirk is particularly like quirky. You know what I mean? Like it's very much My Hero Academia-y. So I'm excited to see what Sun Eater does next week. Excited to see the backstory between him and Mirio finally get fleshed out. And yeah, that's pretty much. I don't have as much to say this week. There wasn't like as much thematically going on. It was mostly just set up for the big attack. And I feel as though like with the more action-packed episodes, I typically have less to say, but that's only because there's less to really like dig into in terms of like what's going on beneath the surface. The action episodes are usually just like hype, and I'm all about that. But yeah, we'll some of these videos will be a little bit shorter than others, which is, you know, not a bad thing in my opinion. I mean, after all, I do tend to talk too much sometimes, so that is the name of the channel, I know, but, you know, some episodes, they kind of deserve a little bit of a shorter video. So some videos are going to be longer than others, some are going to be shorter than others. It is what it is. But with that said, everybody, I'm going to give this week's episode a very solid rank of A. I don't even know why I bother giving rankings lately, because especially with My Hero, it's either A or S, so, you know, there's that. And on that note, everybody, that's going to wrap up today's video, but before we take off, I want to give a big shout out to the good folks over on Patreon, namely those in the Earl Grey tier: Calvin Atkinson, Crowbar of Irony, Dominic, Urza, Ginkotaku, No For Nothing, Maria Teresa, Mirth Mouser, Omner Garamond, Cell, Shadow Creative, Sipco Games, Somastan, Steven, Tristan, Verdon, and Westbourne Eastbred. A huge thank you to those of you who support the channel over on Patreon, and if you too would like to join the T Squadron, then be sure to check out that first link in the description to check out our Patreon page, see all the cool rewards you can get over there, as well as access to our Patreon exclusive Discord. Thanks once again for checking out today's video, everybody. If you enjoyed it, then you've probably been on the internet long enough to know what to do already, so I ain't gonna tell you, but I will say that it is appreciated. And if you are feeling stressed out today, then you go have yourself a warm cup of tea, and I will talk to you all again real soon.